Back for Hour 3, Lost Initiative, Star Wars, The Resurgence, Part 2, Week 2, The Reckoning.
The Reckoning.
Let's continue. Where's the camera pan to after that scene? Candor basically just goes back to the ship and is basically going to wait and see if Werbo...
But before we go any further, while we were off, while we were on a break, you had asked to spend...
Yes, I'm going to spend a force point to ensure that the little data chip that Werbo stepped on has no issues. Doesn't break. It didn't break. It just got a little muddy, and that's the end of it. Basically, I don't want to risk what my only leverage on Werbo is.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So,
copies of it? You're crazy.
Huh?
So you don't have copies of it? You're crazy.
I'm sure there's a copy of it in the ship or something, but I mean, it means going back to him and being like, all right, here's another chip. It's more cinematic to give him the one chip.
One chip through. Maybe it has some sort of encryption on it, so it can't be copied. So some sort of like firewall or however those tech things.
Candor ain't that smart.
Stuff. Yeah. So all the coordinates are actually logged into 420. That's where you got them from.
That's a terrible idea.
What? So anyways, after you kind of do that and you get 420, so is Werbo going with him?
No. At night, Werbo. I mean, when he immediately leaves, Werbo does not go. That night, though, Werbo takes a look at the information to see if it actually is correct. And I guess I'll leave that up to you to figure out if it is. Is it real information?
I mean, it looks like real information. You don't have an astrogation computer in front of you to verify exactly what the coordinates are, but everything about it seems legit. Nothing seems fake.
So Werbo, that night, late at night, see Werbo sort of get up and sneak out of the hut. And at his feet is little Cheezel, and all the Ugnaughts are all gathered around. They're sleeping, and he sort of steps quietly.
He's like sleeping and surrounded by them.
It's like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's exactly what I'm picturing.
And he sneaks out and he closes the door. Like you're like, and he closes it. And he
Wait,
starts
did you
to
just
turn
say Snow White and the Seven Drawers?
on the seven
What?
drawers.
The Seven Drawers, yes.
Yeah, you said the Seven Drawers.
And he makes his way out and past the farm, and you see
With a tear in his eye.
Yeah. He's really sad. But then, as he makes his way to the exit on the porch, he hears him. He's like, "Well, Bo, where you think you're going, son?" and he's like, old Cheezel, miss you. I'll miss you too, boy. He's like, and he points to the data pad. The guy's like, your brother, your family. I know a little bit about family. I had a lot of brothers. They died in the Clone Wars. So many of them. You gotta go, son. You gotta go find them. And he takes a sip of his mint julep because he still has one, apparently. And Werbo's like, oh. He's like, I'll miss you. These are the most productive 5 days on this plantation of shrooms since I got here. And Werbo gives it. And the guy waves back, and then he goes back to sipping his mint julep. And Werbo walks down the street, and then you hear Green Day's "I Walk a Lonely Road." Like, yeah.
That's a jump from that scene to that song.
Yeah.
And I walk alone.
Yeah, and he walks. And you see him walk down this alley, and there's one street lamp that lights his way, but for some reason the light is still on him the entire time. And he walks back. Yeah.
The question is, do these things still actually happen? Like in the actual universe?
No, he could be detoxing. This could all be fake. Yeah, this could all be a drug-related incident. You don't know.
Detox hallucinations.
Like, you imagine this old plantation owner, but when I get there, the guy yelling at me is some like grungy old
like Gamorrean that he's like shacking up with.
This could all be drug-related.
The Ugnaughts
better talk to my man.
The Ugnaughts were all real though. They were all there.
Oh,
They
they
were
were
just-
not. They were Ugnaughts, though. No, God.
They were like weird lizard people. You don't know. You don't know.
That's
But
fine.
it doesn't matter because that's the story.
Exactly.
Oh.
So you come back to the ship.
Yeah. I walked back to where it was last time. If it's still there, then yes.
Yeah, the ship is still there. So if you come back at night and like as you come onto the ship, you actually see Candor kind of like sitting on one of the big boxes and like hanging like his feet dangling over because he's not terribly tall. And then he kind of pushes himself up and he doesn't approach you. He doesn't step towards you or anything.
Gorbo steps towards you though. He walks towards you and pushes the muddy thing. It's still muddy. He got it remodified and pushes it on your chest, like leaves a smear. And he goes like, which translates to, I don't trust you, but I'm in this with you.
Candor kind of just nods as I assume you walk by, but he'll step out of your way.
No, I'm staring you down.
Oh,
I don't,
shit. All right.
How dare you? No, I stare you down.
Sorry,
like,
that's fine. So Candor locks eyes with you, stares you down, and he nods. He's like, good to hear it. We have a meeting with the hut in the morning, and then we're off this rock, and we can start heading to the core. That's where your brother is, and I told you, I owe your brother a favor. Candor kind of then turns around, and he starts walking to his room.
Okay.
And so we will cut to the next morning. Unless there's anything else that anybody else wants to do.
I wanted to buy 3 more stim packs.
Sure. What are they? 25 each or something
Yeah,
like that,
they're
Maggie?
25 each.
Yep. No problem. You can pay about 37 each for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
You don't fight it at all. You just pay the swindle tax.
She's doing all right.
Okay. So it's like 100 and whatever it comes up to.
Okay.
111.
There you go. 111th birthday. Sorry, every time I hear that, every time. Sorry. So so the next morning comes around. I imagine you bought that while you were out and about with others, and not just kind of meandering on your own.
Yeah, we had
So-
8 days, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So-
mean, when we were walking around, I probably did, but I didn't want to interrupt all the things that were happening.
Okay, so you guys make your way to the next day. You make your way over to the whatchamacallit, Giaz's place, and in making your way there, kind of going back down, being led in. This time you aren't like dragged there by people that are not meeting you, but you're led into the place. Similar situation down below, maybe a couple less people. So beyond Giaz and the translator, there's probably 3 others down here. Everybody's armed,
Yep.
of course, except for Giaz. Giaz has no weapons on him, just his wit. And you go walking in it again. I assume that this time Candor will open up as well, but with Werbo with him, correct?
Yes, Werbo was with me. If Werbo agreed to come.
Yeah. Werbo's in just because.
Does Werbo say anything as he's kind of going into this large and
Nope.
shady place, or to himself?
No, Werbo is super quiet and just there.
Dawkins seems to be rather quiet as well, going in and out of this place.
I'm just letting the captain run the show, man.
Okay. Yep.
I'm a paid intern. I don't know what I am.
Paid intern.
Those don't exist.
Okay, so you are just kind of following the captain's lead.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I'm just
Cool.
like taking notes and making sure all the things are going smoothly.
Nope, you're perfectly fine. So you make your way to the. You go all the way down there, and you go walking in. Candor, kick it off. Candor.
No, as we walk into the room,
You chose a name that's gonna be very hard for me to separate from Crendor.
I didn't think
Yeah,
about
I did that for a moment too. I was like, candor.
it. As we walk past the guards, I make a very grand gesture towards Werbo, and I say, "Evidence as promised." And he'll pull out a data chip and kind of hand it to the nearest guard. You can believe it or not, but that's the records of the TIE fighters attacking us.
So the hut takes this stuff, and the translator says. So they take it this stuff. And the translator says, he speaks to his men for a minute. Then the translator turns to him and says, he will check to make sure, or Giaz will check to make sure that Giaz is satisfied with this.
Giaz, I'm just trying to repay a favor. I don't like leaving loose ends, so the sooner you can get this done, the better. I've got places to be.
What else were you looking for?
Just to get the hell out of here. Look,
You
I know
came-
how the huts work. I don't pay you back. Eventually, you're going to start sending goons after me.
So you came here just to settle debt.
I like to square up my debts.
You came here with no other requests.
I was escaping the Empire at the same time, so if you can, not sell me out to them, that'd be great.
They seem to be satisfied with this. There's actually like a moment of silence, and then the hut will kind of like as he's laughing at the fact that you're actually just there settling your debt and not being a shiesty bastard. And then they, after like a little bit of conversation, a little bit of time passes, they come back and kind of like give like the signal that says that the information's good. And so the hut is like starts asking questions instead. So again, through the translator, looks as though Gioz is satisfied. Gioz would like to know what it is that happens there. Gioz would like information beyond Empire Took Station.
The information is something freely given, Gioz. You know that.
When you say that, like almost immediately the other three people around the room kind of like tense up and it's like reach for their guns and stuff like that. But there's like a moment of silence. Do you also allow the silence to linger?
Yeah.
Okay, do me a favor
Oh God.
in this moment of silence.
Don't make me make a check.
Of course I gotta make you make a check. This is FFG Star Wars, baby. It's all about rolling them die and somehow always succeeding with friggin' ridiculous successes. Where are you? There's Kander. Kander, character sheet. I'm just trying to make sure which one it is. Let's see. I suppose it's because I'm gonna say this one's coercion because you're literally just kind of like locking, like you're doing an opposed coercion check.
It's like my lowest one out of all like the deception and like skullduggery. No, it's coercion.
One second though, because you have to more or less go against what they roll. This is me setting a DC. So you're trying to coerce a hut, more or less.
This is not gonna go well.
Uh-huh. So you are welcome to attempt to coerce a hut. Would you like to use the light side point?
Sure, fuck it. Let's do it.
You didn't allow me to add the light side point before you rolled. Oh, you didn't roll. Okay, sorry. I thought you rolled already. My apologies. I spoke out of turn, Mathis. Forgive me.
That's all
Because
good.
this thing is not working. There we go. Allow you an upgrade. All right. Opposed check.
It's a miserable failure.
Yep.
I know. I mean, I don't know how that.
It could have been a worse failure if you didn't upgrade, though. Look at that. You got 2 successes there.
Truly disgusting.
Okay. So you take a couple of strain as you like. So more or less, you're standing there and like kind of like there's a silence happening as tension's building in the room, and you're standing there kind of like looking, trying to look like strong, staring this hut in the eyes, and he's looking back, and like time's passing, and every moment is feeling like minutes are passing, and like you're kind of like getting nervous, and you're kind of like feeling like, oh shit, like I'm gonna die right now, aren't I? I'm gonna die right now, aren't I? And you're actually like you're taking the strain as you're just concerned about this happening. When all of a sudden the hut decides that you're being a little impertinent, and so the translator says to you, and the hut's tone is clearly that of aggravation. Gioz would like for you to give Gioz the information, or you can spend a night in the pit.
All right. So what happened was, then I spew the information.
Okay. And you tell literally everything, and if so, does anybody else, or whether or not I should say, does anybody else chime in with their own details?
I say everything he said is true.
Perfect.
Okay. And do you give every detail?
Oh yeah. I mean, I got a despair. I spill.
Okay. So just give me the highlights.
The reason I was there initially, freed the slaves, stormtroopers, conversations. I mean, what else do we really know? The slaver and the cat, like who the slaver was.
Mm-hmm.
That one of the people that is in charge, they were talking as though it was alive is actually dead, because I think I learned that, or like I inferred that from them or something.
Mm-hmm.
Good God, lick everything. All this, I freed all the slaves are all freed, so there's no more slaves there.
Okay.
That kind of thing.
So, and freeing the slaves, this is where the another spot where the despair kind of kicks in and bites you in the ass.
Yeah.
When you say you freed all the slaves, he's very upset about that because that's a lot of money being lost right there. And so he actually tells so the hut turns to one of the people off to the side and asks them to calculate how much money would have been lost for surviving slaves that belonged to him.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I got you something priceless, Giaz. I got you your space station back.
He still waves for them to go off and do the calculations.
Great.
So all that happens, and I'm trying to. There's no straight intelligence check or to remember things in this game, which is a little aggravating. So I'm just gonna say it happens. So you So the all that stuff happens. The person eventually comes out with a number, and the Giaz seems to be forgiving of that number, but still very aggravated with you at this moment. But the thing that stands out is he does mention when you mention the slaver, and you know that it's kind of like what kind of slaver, and you're actually not, are you? None of you guys are familiar with what the race is, correct? I believe you all failed your checks.
Yeah, I think we all failed.
Yeah. So they ask you to describe the slaver.
I don't remember doing a check.
It was last week. Last 6 months ago, Maggie.
Okay.
Yeah. I describe it as like a cat, a humanoid cat, basically, to the best of my ability.
Do you know of what it wears or how it looks?
I actually will like look to Werbo. I'm like, he had more intimate encounters with it than I did.
And so, like, all the attention turns to Werbo.
Werbo is totally silent. Doesn't say a thing. He's just there because he's expecting to get answers regarding his brother. He doesn't give a shit about the rest of your adventures.
Okay. So does he even doesn't respond or anything like that? Yep. So the being prodded one step further by the translator, it will say to Werbo, "Do you know what it looks like, or do you not know?" Okay,
Werbo doesn't say anything. Werbo doesn't play a hand. Werbo's not going to admit that he doesn't know nothing. Werbo does nothing.
The translator then turns back to Kander and says, "Does it speak?"
I don't know. Good response to this. When he feels like it?
Was this one of our slaves?
No.
You say he was a slave.
Empire.
Empire doesn't have slaves.
They don't. Interesting. I'll actually look to Werbo. That's not what he told me.
Werbo just gives like a snarl and looks at everyone in the room like, y'all better not think of making me a slave.
So they seem to be satisfied with the fact that Werbo is understanding and that this isn't some sort of a hoax that you're trying to pull in front of them. And taking all this information and whatnot, they kind of like, all right, very well then, you are free to go, but tread carefully, Kander. You've already cost me a lot of money. It seems as though the favors I do for you are costly, and the favors you do for me are equally so.
You see like visible tension from his shoulders like drop as it's like, you're free. I thank him profusely, and I'm ready to get the hell out of here.
Okay, and so you guys are kind of like a little quickly make your way out of the place, trying to play it cool. Would you like to roll a cool check, Mathis?
No.
Yeah. So you try to play it cool and make your way out of there and start heading back towards the ship, where you can interact with one another as you like, either on the way or to the ship itself. And I didn't know if there was anything else that Werbo wanted to do before he left.
Werbo takes stock of the fact that there is some spice going on here, and he might come back and kick the shit out of everyone if he gets the hankering. He notices. He knows what's up.
The only thing I'm gonna say at this point is like when we get back, is that I kind of look to Werbo. I'm like, all right, free of my job. We can now head to the core system like I promised. Let's go find your brother.
Cool.
All right, and then that's where we want to go.
Awesome. So you guys are getting onto the ship, and you start needing to plot your course to the core systems. Now, you are a considerable way out from there, so you have to take multiple hyperlanes to get into the core system. So like something that you can just like, whoop, hey, we're there now. Woo! It's going to take a considerable amount of time to get there, including actually passing through the space that you had just left. You actually have to pass through Sakaar again just to get there, because Narhuska is almost at the end of its own hyperlane. It's actually only system after that is Droxit. You know what I mean? Which I don't think any of you know what that is. No? Yeah, I think so.
Jesse just looks disapproving right now.
We have to go back through. This is gonna be terrible.
Yeah. And well, the fun part too is the hyperlane that it's on actually ends inside the Sakaar system, and then you have to enter a new hyperlane from there. So there will be a small, we'll say, layover.
Oh, layover. Great.
So how do you choose to handle this?
Wait, hold on. What's a Droxit?
Drox is just a system.
Oh, okay.
We don't
So how
really
do
have
you
much
guys
of a choice.
Well, there are a few other things you can do. You can, instead of going through into that system and staying on this well-charted and safe hyperlane the entire time, you can try to take yourself off of that course, skirting around it, but it's going to add a considerable amount of time to your travels, as you're going to be going with not hyperlanes, so not full speeds.
Well, I guess I more or less want to bring the four of us together then and figure it out.
Yep.
I'm not gonna make the call alone. So
you do you want to do like a whole crew meeting?
Sure, we can do a crew meeting.
Crew meeting.
So meet up over in like the cargo area or wherever it is that you want to do it.
I just kind of lay it out.
Like
Like
crew
we have two choices. We can go through the area in which we rescued Werbo and go through Empire space again, or we can try and go around it, but it's going to add a decent chunk of time to the trip.
Throughout the entire meeting, so Asala every once in a while tosses like a dirty glance over at 420, kind of like just doesn't seem to like him at all.
I don't acknowledge it. I'm just like very neutral.
DeWitt is fiddling with something inside of R1N0, and the Jawa is sitting there and slurping a beverage through a straw, but clearly the drink is empty, and so it's that obnoxious like end of the drink straw sucking away at the ice kind of sound.
Who invited the Jawa?
You would call for a crew meeting.
Where's the area that we're at? Is it in the core worlds or the outer?
Right now we're in hut space on the edge. We're trying to head core because that's where the Empire is holding.
We're trying to head to the core.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm just trying to think if I could use any knowledge to help figure out what the best route would be.
Well, part of it would help if you knew where it was that you were going, but I don't think Kandor has told you guys.
Crap. I gotta remember.
Where are we going?
I mean, I would tell them. I would tell everybody.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hide that.
Perhaps we should know where we're going.
What was the planet?
And
We picked the planet, didn't we?
You did.
Did we?
I don't remember any planets.
No, me and Scott.
No, he did, or wherever he is in relation to me on the
Was it Titan?
Yeah.
It was like super deep core.
here.
Might have been Titan.
The Titan planet.
I'll double check. But I'd say I give you the planet name while I look it up. It's pretty deep core.
Can I use my core knowledge to see, like, if I know a good route?
So no, you are very much outside of the core, so that would help you when you're getting closer. It's not going to help you with where you are currently. If you pull up a map of hut space, I mean, you're like north to south, you're in the middle, east to west, you're in the far, far east. So you're literally on the edge of hut space in Narhuska. So one of the other options you can do is you can stay on the hyperlane, go all the way out to Droxu, and then you're traveling in like open free space for a while, trying to bring yourself over to the Trellis trade route, which is a considerable gap of space. It's going to add a lot of time to your travel. It's not, you're only going to be able to enter hyperspeeds every once in a while. Like here and there, like little jumps. So it could also be dangerous, but it would keep you away from Sakaar, which is a concern.
What does Werbo think? Does he want to go through the Empire space again? Does he want to go around?
Warbo has just been sitting back, sort of watching, and when you mentioned that we might have to stop, he just like gives like a little head nod over to the gunnery position.
Mhm.
And he
Like you're
can
ready to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, man. It's gonna be a fight one way or another. But
Yeah,
Candor
look,
ain't afraid. Yeah, Candor ain't afraid to go through the Empire space again. So he actually seems to like not necessarily relish in the fact, but when the possibility shows up, seems kind of excited.
Okay.
Does Doc say it's this okay with going through Empire space again?
I don't think it doesn't matter.
Okay.
She's
Okay,
here.
cool.
She's here for whatever. Her goal is just research.
Well, no, you're gonna get a lot of that.
Like, I need to learn about new types of wounds. Oop, there's 7. So,
No, but the more damage you get, the more exciting it gets for her.
So fighting sounds exciting to you two then. And 420, I'm assuming if the word kill comes up, he gets thrilled.
Hell yeah, dude. That's
All
my
right.
go-to word.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
Also, she really hates slavery. So,
Yeah, that'll.
Yeah.
All right.
Yo. All right then.
all right, so you guys decide to start heading there and at least start heading your way towards the core system, maybe making a few stops along the way. As for exactly where it is you're going, we're gonna have to plot that course eventually. But for now, we can at least skip to what happens as you travel from Haska. I'll eventually learn how to pronounce this every time, to Sakar, and you jump back into the same travel that you had done beforehand. You're familiar with the length of time because you had literally just done it only a short period of time ago. A time passes while it's there. Werbo is back on the ship. Does he interact with anybody at all, or does he keep to himself this entire trip right now during hyperspace?
No, he just keeps to himself.
Okay,
He's
absolutely.
there for business.
Okay.
I still don't trust Nunyas.
Nanyas. So you guys make your way over to Sakar, where it is, like I said, you have to drop yourself out of hyperspace to kind of start recalculating, figuring out your coordinates. But you want to obviously drop yourself in a way that's going to be more in the outskirts as safe as possible. But to do so is going to require an actual astrogation check. Who's the one that's going to take care of our astrogation amongst you
Not
guys?
me. Not you.
Astrogation, what's that?
Check your skills. It should be the first one.
yeah, you might, because you're doing, you have some piloting skills.
Well, inside your Githrock, does it say in there who the astrogator is?
I'll look.
Crew roles, astrogation. Oh, I don't have somebody set for it.
I have nothing. I have 1 green in that.
Okay. What's yours, Maggie?
I'm trying to find where it was again. Was it under knowledge?
It's under just right under general skills.
Oh, is it under general?
Very,
skills?
very first one under general
Oh,
skills.
I have 4 green.
You're better than me by a long
Okay.
shot.
So, just so you're aware of the NPCs there, Mathis and everybody else, R1N0, the astromech droid, has 1 yellow, 1 green.
Okay.
Isala Preve, the
Yep.
co-pilot now, has 1 yellow, 1 green.
Okay.
And DeWitt has 1 yellow, 2 green. But I still think that
I think
that
4
makes
green
him
is still-
about on par with Maggie.
Yeah. I'd say Maggie, go for it.
All right, we'll see.
Oh, I don't have my dice set up. It should only be 2, yes? Yeah, it should only be... Oh, you're trying to navigate and make it... You want to stop in a very specific area, so we're actually going to make it 3 purple die. Maggie, are you ready to roll?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. Go ahead.
Okay. Fail.
But you got advantage. So what ends up happening is you pull out of hyperspace. You're trying to stick on the outskirts, trying to, you know, what is it? Stay on the outskirts of the system, away from that planet as much as possible, so that you don't get detected by things. However, when you pull out of hyperspace, you're actually not anywhere near as far out as you wanted to. You're kind of like in the middle of the system, and definitely within a range that something like a space station would be able to pick you up on its radar. In pulling out to the spot, you're obviously open and going to be able to be seen, scanned, or whatever the case may be. How is it that you want to react, Candor or crew, Is there anything you want to do, like immediately try to hightail it out of there and hope that they didn't notice you? Do you want to, well, they already noticed it anyways, let's try to like check out what's going on. Like, what's our approach?
Get the hell
One
out of
of a
here
million
as soon as
options.
we can. Would be
Sure,
my
so you
would be
wanna-
my input.
Okay. So you just immediately start doing astrogating and just kind of like sit still and hold out for the best. Okay, so once again, Maggie, this time it's going to be a little bit easier for you to do this astrogation. You're just trying to get out of here, right? Just 1 second. I'm just going to, if you want to, what?
Ha.
And it actually reduces the travel time, or you identify convenient stopovers for
Oh, I think I
resupply.
found something.
Yeah. So you do astrogate to find your way out of here. Now, while it takes time for her to do this, because it's not an instant thing, it's not like you press 2 buttons on the computer and you punch it and you're good to go. So while you guys are trying to figure this out or whatever, you do see that there's a considerable amount of activity happening over by that space station. There is a lot of movement over there with like the number of ships that are kind of like going through. You had already said that you don't want to scan or spend any time looking, but you do see there's a considerable amount of activity and you're not sure what it is. One of the things you do notice is that there is your comm link is blinking as something significantly closer to you is hailing over to you guys.
Fucking Christ. I just Werbo, man the guns. We might have a fight.
Yeah,
over-
Warbo gets in position, but he doesn't do anything
Right.
yet.
Candor like takes a deep breath and then hits the comm link. And like I'm gesturing for like Doc, like keep going, like don't stop. Like let's get the hell out of here.
I'll keep. Let me know when I can roll astrogations then.
Oh, you actually already rolled. It's just a matter of spending time now.
Yeah, basically
So-
characters in behind the scenes like, okay, I got it. Just taking time.
Okay, so you press the button and
This is the captain of the ship. How can I help you?
you seem to be a little bit out of your ways.
Yeah. Just passing by, heading out of here.
You know, just moseying on, drinking my coffee.
I mean, you must see ships pass by here from time to time. This is an area where a couple of hyperlane things intersect. So
Strange activities recently. Why don't you just hold up right there? We're gonna come and check things out.
sounds good. Click.
So
420. If you can get us further away from this area, that'd be great.
Roger.
So you want him to just kind of like start sublight speed navigating to get away from the, like, more or less just book it?
Yeah, let's move. Let's go.
Okay. Awesome. So 420, let me just set this up right here. You're good to go. You're welcome to make a piloting check whenever you want. Feel free to use a light side point if you want to. Just make sure you tell me before you
Is
roll.
this space or planetary?
Space.
This is space, sir. Planetary is only when you're in the planet.
Yes.
So he is not successful in getting away. However, he builds up advantage for whoever wants to do what next. Now, before we figure out who's doing what next, if you guys had stayed perfectly still, Maggie, you had already succeeded your astrogation. It wasn't going to be an issue. However, now the ship is moving, so your initial point for your trajectory is going to change as well, right? That's why the calculations have to update, right? So that all being said, Maggie, why don't you go ahead and make me another astrogation check if you'd like. But before you do so, light side point, nice, I like it. And Crendor also gave you a
Blue dice.
blue die. So roll whenever you'd like, Maggie.
Well,
Ow!
I miss when we rolled really good.
I know. This is why I'm a doctor.
It's feast or famine in this game. Feast or famine. Nobody's like, oh, yeah, I succeed. It's always like, oh, I crushed it, or I failed. So, okay, you failed. You got a, but with that advantage or whatever. So the way it happens is, it's not that you're not going to be able to hit hyperspace. It's just you're not going to be able to reduce the time. It's just going to be seriously elongated. Okay. Just resetting this stuff over here. So the ship is drawing near, and you guys are trying to move away from it. And as you're trying to move away, but not very quickly, because 420 is like, you know, I can pilot anything, or I can fly anything. And so it's like and moving, but he's not moving very quickly. You know, the course that he took wasn't the best course. It wasn't exactly out of the way, and he didn't punch it into a really high speed right away, and all of that stuffs. So The comm link's blinking again.
Flick it on. Hell, sorry, malfunctioning pilot droid in here. It's, working on it.
Well,
Malfunctioning piloting droid. You've got to do better than that. All right.
I mean, technically, he's a malfunctioning B1 battle droid, so it's not a lie.
So he's like, stay put, or we're gonna have to open fire on you.
I'll like press a button like to mute it and look back at Doc. Doc, how long we got? How long she got?
It's one of those like just
It's
a
like
sec.
that emoji that's just like, I don't know.
It's one of those kind of
Can I
just a sec sort of a
estimate
thing.
how much time it's gonna take?
I mean, rule for me. No, I would tell you just a few more rounds, sort of a thing, as it's calculating.
How
Because
much
this thing like a
is
solid. It just take a few
30
minutes for
minutes?
this to happen.
3 minutes? 30
Yeah,
minutes?
3 minutes, something like that.
3 minutes? Okay.
And I look
T
at
minus
like
3 minutes.
I nod and I look to like the how far away, like how fast are they closing in on us?
Pretty quickly. I mean, it's a much larger ship than you guys, so it's probably not as maneuverable as yours is. However, you always can because of the fact that you are a small enough ship, you're only silhouette 4. You do have the ability to pull the maneuver, punch it, which allows you to just jump your engines into full speed and get out of there as quick as possible. It just does strain to the ship. It's system strain.
Yeah. So I look to I kind of like before I like lift up the button to respond. I look to 420 and I just 420. You can pilot anything.
I can pilot anything.
All right, punch it, and I'll just like and I'll lift my finger up and be like, yeah, all right, we'll see you later. Well, all right, and I hang up.
All right, and 420, would you like to add a light side point? Or are you happy
Yes,
with what your
add a
rolls?
light side point, please.
Okay, I'll add light side points.
Okay,
We
I'll
need to
give you
do
that.
TFO.
Yeah, we do.
All right, do I add a dark side point? Should I?
No, don't be a douche.
Should I?
Does he get a forward?
I think you shouldn't.
No.
Jesse.
I mean,
Yeah.
Jesse straight up asked for it. It doesn't take much to convince me. Throwing back the dark side point. You are good to roll whenever you would like. Krendor, please fail for me.
I succeed.
Hey,
he
triumph!
He's like, I'll show
Good
you
work,
your
buddy.
failure.
Good work, buddy.
Oh, nice job.
I did
dude.
it.
So he succeeds.
You did more than do it.
He succeeds with a triumph, and there's both you and the computer take and the system takes 1 point of strain, which isn't that big of a deal. And you, I mean, Krendor, I'm going to allow you to describe your maneuvering here. First of all, you punch it, you go as fast as you can while
Right.
you have Doc back there and trying to navigate as quickly as possible. Describe for me your maneuvering.
My robot hands are on the wheel. Was it what's
12 and 2.
10 and 12 and 2.
10 and 2.
10 and 2. We're at 10 and 2. Highly maneuverable as I pilot through the barrages of environmental, physical, and mental barriers. And truly, it's just something only a few can witness in a lifetime as they see me pilot this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing like how
I'm sorry. Before you just, I love how I'm like, you describe this amazing piloting. And he's like, yeah, I'm like dad in the minivan driving. It's amazing. You know what I mean? Like, no, this is all good. I've got this and driving nice and easy down Route 44. It's all good to go. Oh God.
seeing how nimble 420 is, I kind of like widen my eyes and I look to Isella or whatever her name was, and I'm like, looks like you might be out of the job.
What? And she's like
He
looking around
managed to get
furiously.
all of us.
Is Doc in the room?
Yeah, I'm.
She's
well,
astragating.
Oh
So
yeah.
I hope I'm in the
Doc.
room.
So when he says that, she kind of like looks around looking for somebody to like give her some sort of. But let's see, there's 420 in the room. Canda, who just said it. Warbo, who's Warbo.
She
So
looks. She looks.
she
at
looks
me
to you.
and I'm
She's like,
he did pilot it, so. Okay.
she like stomps one of her feet and then kind of like walks out of the room. Which allows for the captain to sit down if he wants to in her seat.
And he does.
And you guys are flying through here with the greatest of ease, able to get out of the way. Maggie, the way that he's flying, he actually ends up lining the ship back up with one of the astrogation calculations that it already made, and allows you to hit it sooner than you thought you'd have to. And so all of a sudden you hit the button, and you guys are zipping through space at ridiculous speeds, trying to head to wherever it is that you're going. Ridiculous speeds. So where exactly is it that you're going? I mean, there are a few different times that you're going to have to hop out of hyperspeed to, continue moving forward. But were there any in particular like stops you want to make along the way? Like, let's say, for instance, for you to leave here and go into the core worlds, unless you're going to like the most northern parts, heading up the route that the previous party had gone up beforehand, and this party traveled down to get here, you will be going through Nalhada. You know what I mean? So did you ever have any intentions to stop through Nalhada? Okay.
No hut space. I'm out of that. I only work with the huts when absolutely necessary, as most people should. As far as I'm concerned, like, rescuing his brother is like my priority right now because I owe him. I'm assuming Werbo is the same. Like, it's his family. He can free one of his family. If Doc wants to stop anywhere specific, that's on Doc. Let me know. And 420, same. I'm not sure if you would, though. I'm just looking at the map right now.
Yeah, I'll look at my map as well. So it doesn't sound like anybody's jumping up and saying, oh, I want to go here. So I just need you to tell me where it was that core planet was, because I honestly do not. I don't remember if you told me.
I think it's. I'm looking at Titan. That sounds the most familiar. I did do a quick search on Titan, but there's no like modern history of Titan, just Old Republic history on Titan.
Spell it for me.
Tython. I feel like it began with a T, and I can't remember if that.
I don't know. I'm
just
just here for wherever you were taking us to free more slaves, man.
Yeah, that's what we're doing right now.
Oh, that is like deep. That is in the,
it's deep core,
eye of
like,
the beast.
Like where a lot of Empire is going to be. But
yeah,
you are welcome to step in as GM and say, no, he's not that deep.
No, if you want to go to Titan, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, sure. I was allowing you to write this bit of the story, and you want him in Titan, sure. That is like if you're looking at the galactic map that I'm looking at, which encompasses many different details, it literally is like there's Titan, and immediately south of that is Galactic Center.
It might have been Telos. Now that chat's popping in, it's the one where
Telos is way outside of the core. I'm pretty sure Telos is like on the northern tip of the galaxy.
Where are you taking us?
Core world where Empire has people, basically.
Yeah, Telos is like what took place during Knights of the Old Republic. That's where like a lot of Telos was way to the north. That was not Kandor at all.
The real question is, who took your brother?
That is the question.
Empire has his brother, as far as I know.
Well, it is going to be a lot of space travels happening right now. So if you want Nareem to approach Werbo and try to engage him,
there's no Nareem here.
Yeah, I don't know who.
Every time you say Nareem, we get a force point.
Oh,
no, that's not.
Like
every time I say Nareem, I get a dark side point. Okay, that's how it works. Okay, you suffer if I suffer.
Sense.
So
that doesn't make any sense.
So you guys are sorry, Doc, do you want to go up to Werbo at all and try to like make conversation about like who took him? I mean, it's a long gap of time, so I don't know if you would open up at all.
I don't know. I guess I don't know if I don't think she would ask him about that. She probably just doesn't want him to beat her up. Don't aggravate the Wookiee.
No way. No, we both hate slaves. That is hashtag. That's
you
my
hate
fetish.
slaves.
We
just want to be free.
Oh, no,
Why do you hate them?
We hate slavery. That's my fetish. I hate slavery too. We're on the same page.
Wait, hold on. If you hate slavery so much that that's your fetish, I wonder if like his thing is like totally gimp outfit. Like,
No,
totally,
no.
like,
He's a Wookiee. Don't put your weird kinks into it.
Hey, you brought up fetish. I just took it.
No. That's different. There's a different meaning on Kashyyyk. Get out of town. Yeah, don't make it weird. Don't make it weird. Ew. He's a Wookiee.
So I'm sorry, Maggie. Please take it away.
Take it away. I just
You
said
were going to him and saying sorry
I was going what?
to Jesse.
No, I wasn't.
Oh, I'm
you
sorry.
keep trying to force this. I said I don't think she would.
Warbo goes to her.
Because I think most of what she's going to be doing is prepping for wherever they're going.
Yeah, Warbo walks over and looks down at you and goes, and sort of leans up against the wall and looks at what you're doing.
Okay. Is this over a period of time, or are we still?
Yeah, we're just flying through space.
Flying?
Yeah. I mean, this is literally months are going to pass if you're going all the way to the deep core. So we're going to have stop-offs in the middle, but
Warbo gives you a little and leans and sort of looks at what you're doing.
I guess in this situation, she's at a desk down in like the medical area that she's been working on, and she's finally cleared up the space. If you're watching like a bajillion weeks ago in February, she had been cleaning up this one area in the ship and trying to make it like actually usable for a medical station. And now she's trying to like set up an area where she can like maybe do some mechanical work, because she's seen like what's going on, what happened to 420, and she's like trying to set that up. And so she's just finicking with things and moving some wires and organizing them. And what did you say to her?
What did I say?
What did you say?
Can you understand? Can you understand my language?
Yeah, she understands your language.
Oh, all right. So I was hoping you didn't. He comes up and basically says to you, so what are you doing? And then while you're like fiddling around, he sort of looks at things that are on shelves and puts them back in the wrong place. And he keeps like looking at like he's just trying to keep himself busy because he's really bored.
She like when you do that, she notices it, looks over, and she's like, I'm organizing. And she like moves the stuff that you put in the wrong spot back in the right place. And she's like, actually, why don't you help me out? And she hands you these giant cables, and she's like, can you put those up there? And there's like a knob that she just wants you to hang them on.
He does that, and then he just like plops himself down on like the medical table, and just sits there, and like fur and like he starts to shed a little on it. It's just very unsanitary, and everything about it is just like, no, please don't be here. But he's there,
and she's just dealing with it. She's just like putting all the things up on the walls and organizing it. And she's like, what are you doing?
And Warbo just starts to just like look around the room. He's like, and he basically says he's bored. He doesn't know. He's just looking for something to do.
I'm gonna go over comms and be like, well, before I do that, I will say, well, I know the captain says you're not working for us, but would you mind helping out?
Warbo gets up, looks at you, and has like a really big smile on his face, and then in a sort of growl, he says no and walks out of the room.
She like rolls her eyes and then looks over at the pad thing that you were laying on, and it's just like full of your hair. And she's just like, oh my God. And she goes over underneath the sink and grabs something to clean it out and starts cleaning it. And then when she's done, she actually puts like a cloth down on it. So next time if that happens, it's easier to clean up.
Oh God. All right.
Ay.
We'll make our next stop, the next break. We got our final break for the night. We'll be back in a few minutes, guys. Don't go anywhere.